Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two dumb Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Good morning. I'll get you, my pretties, and your little dog, too. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is the Two Dumb Yinzers, episode 797. Welcome back to the show. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. Good morning, Michael. How you be?
I am excellent, my friend. I am fired up and ready to go.
A lot of things going on today. This is certainly going to be an eventful show. We have the trade deadline the cut down deadline for 53-man roster today at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have updates throughout the show as they come. Mike is on the assignment. He will be keeping an eye closely on things as real time as we go throughout the show, just in case anything does pop up, happen, or anything of any importance that we need to know happens, guys. Good morning. Welcome back, Mike. Just 3 more shows by Friday. We'll be wrapping up season 7 and starting season 8 here on the show. Very excited about that, Mike. Episode 800 Friday. I got to be honest with you, man. It flew. It really did. Here we are, Mike. Only going to be just a couple hundred out from the big 1,000 milestone for the show. Very, very proud and very excited. A lot of hard work went into it, Mike. Big 800 on Friday.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought we liked each other that much?
I know, right? I'm surprised we've made it this far, but my God, 800 episodes and shit, dude. Let's keep it going for 8,000 more.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody on the board. Great seeing everybody on this board this morning. One of my favorite parts of the whole entire day is to see the board, guys. I do want to say good morning to Tortilla, RB, Corey, everybody on the board this morning. Before I get into the messages, Mike, it is deadline day. This is the day that we get cut down to 53 guys. We're going to look at our roster on what it is going to be for this upcoming football season for the Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the 2025 season, Mike. A lot of things are happening. Players are moving all around the league. Guys are getting cut. Guys are on their 5th football team in just a couple seasons. We have all kind of things going on today, but guys, it is going to be a jam-packed episode, so hang tight. We got a lot of things to talk about. Mike, let's just get into some of the later things. as we do start up, I do want to say that Deontay Johnson was released by the Cleveland Browns. DeMarvin Leal just this morning cut by the Steelers. Mike, this was something that you weren't so surprised with, but there are some surprise moves thus far in the releasing of some players. We'll get into all that, guys, and we're going to hit the injury list to see what's going on, because the more I wasn't even going to talk about injuries that much today, but the more I'm looking at the list, it's a long list of guys that went down at some point during training camp or preseason. So we'll get into that and see when their expectations will be to get back on the field for the Steelers. A whole bunch of things going on today. Mike, let's jump on the board. I never like to keep the board waiting. Let's get on the board.
Let's do it.
Good morning to Tortilla. Always great seeing Tortilla from out in California. My man, Tortilla Jackson. Good morning to you, sir. RB says Jets cut Malachi Corley. We better be all over that like stink on shit. We better be all over something like stink on shit. There's no two ways about that. You gotta. I think you're putting yourself in a better position by bringing the extra weapon in, whether you like the receiver or not, guys. I'm just looking for weapons at this point. Corey says, "Hey, my favorite Yinzers, how's it going? Let's go, Jacoby Myers." There's another name, guys, that we'll certainly be talking about as he was released by the Raiders. Tortilla says, you guys think some GMs are using Chat GPT to make roster cuts? Who knows? Maybe. I mean, who knows what's going on out there, guys? A lot of interesting things going on, though. Tortilla follows it up by saying Chat GPT could probably fix the Browns. I don't know.
No, that might be a task too far for AI, brother. We might need the aliens that are coming to Earth to fix the Brownies.
Yeah, I don't think Elon Musk, he's smart, but I don't know if he's that smart. RB says Corley is Artie Smith's wet dream for a number 2 to DK. Yards after catch God. Physical is all hell. Get back into him shortly here. Corey says Tortilla, not too many old men for that. They're using bingo boards. Every guy on the bingo row gets cut. B9. Well, there goes Cole Holcomb. Let's see what else. RB says, if the Steelers could ever give me a birthday present, that would be it. He was my number 3 wide receiver 2 years ago in the draft. When's your birthday, RB? And then Tortilla replies to that, of course. So everybody, welcome back. A lot of things going on. Mike, let me get on this injury tip, because all show we are going to have updates, guys. Mike is he's on the job. If anything comes up across the board that happens during our slot today, you'll be the first to know right here on the Two Dumb Yinzers. Mike has a close eye on everything happening by minute, real time, here today on the show. Guys, as we work toward that 4 o'clock hour, there's a lot of things going to happen in the NFL today. Mike, another one of my favorite times of the year. I love players moving. I love action like that in the NFL. I'm here for it. And again, 4 o'clock is the deadline today. RB, happy birthday to you, brother. Great to hear that, my man. You're a summer birthday too. That's awesome, man. Congratulations and happy birthday. I hope your day is well. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get that receiver for you today. That could certainly be in the cards. And guys, a lot of things. Mike, let me get the injury talk out of the way. We'll get into the people that were cut yesterday. We'll get into who is moving today. A lot of things around the league happening, Mike. Every team, a lot of former Steelers, things happening. So we will touch on everything. Yep. For RB's big birthday here on the Two Dumb Yinzers. Everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. Let's get into it. Mike, of course, we're going to get into all the injuries going back to the Panther game till right now. Mike, of course, Harmon, we do know that Derek Harmon was injured. I speculated a little bit that he may be back by the opener on Friday's show, and it came out that he's more than likely going to miss about a month with the MCL sprain. And then later word comes out that maybe he might only miss 1 game. Yeah. So, Derek Harmon, Mike, you hate to see this, especially again with a rookie and these big injuries early on, Mike. But Derek Harmon at least going to be out a couple more weeks. And again, I guess the better side would be maybe by week 1. The not so good side, probably about a month altogether.
Yeah, I'm hoping if hold him out. Definitely, I'd hold him out the first game if you're still iffy on it. Those sprains, that's still damage to a ligament. And, big guy, knee ligaments, you need those fuckers healthy. So I would be okay holding him out 1 game if he's on the cusp of being ready, but you're still kind of iffy. Hold him out that game and bring him back week 2, ready to rock and roll at that point. But, going from we're all, speculating he tore an ACL or tore an MCL to just being a sprain, That's awesome right there. And going from a month to maybe like just missing a couple of weeks to where you potentially play the first game. This is the best injury news we've had in a long time, brother. So luckily we dodged your bullet that you keep loading in our chamber over there with your devastating injuries.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Mike. It just wasn't him. The list really goes on, and we're going to get into all these injuries here today. And what I don't understand is, if you look at the Chiefs game, Mahomes and Kelsey both played 3 series this weekend. They had a touchdown, a field goal, and a touchdown on the 3 series. Why these guys don't ever get injured, I don't know.
Right?
Every single Pittsburgh Steeler rookie we ever had seems to be injured and out for some time. But let's get Mike into some more of these
They
injuries.
signed the contract and they sprained a wrist.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, also on the list is Keanu Benton. Of course, Mike Keanu Benton with his upper body injury, but he's optimistic that he will be ready for the Jets game. Mike, that's kind of big too, especially with Derek Harmon fighting the injury on the defensive line.
Yeah, because if he goes down, you figured his role would expand along with Wyatt Blacks. And Benton, that injury came out of nowhere. But I saw a video of him yesterday going through all the drills in practice with a big old brace on his elbow. He was just holding the elbow in place, but still doing things. It seems like just resting that elbow up. I think he's going to be ready to go too.
Benton, that's big, Mike. He is back to practice. He is back to practice. The guys are off today. I didn't want to say that. The Steelers are off. There is no practice today for the cut down day. Again, 53 men by 4 o'clock today, guys. Just about 5 hours and 17 minutes. We will know our roster in its entirety. Again, the Steelers are off. And I do want to say, guys, it's only 12 days, just 12 days away from the opener in New York against the Jets. So, guys, we're getting excited. A lot of things going on. Let me get to the next one, Mike. Corey Trice, providing that he doesn't get cut from the team, Mike, he's ahead of schedule on his hamstring and thinks that he'll be ready to be back for the opener against the Jets as well. Mike, Corey Trice.
Like you said, if he makes the team, that's awesome news. If he makes the team, that's awesome news because you see him out there, he can play, but I don't know.
Yeah. Again, that's pretty big, Mike. After losing a couple players that we lost in so far in the cuts, I'm not sold that Corey Trice will be on this team when it's all said and done. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Mike, he is ahead of schedule, according to sources on his hamstring, and thinks that he will be ready for the Jets game. Next on the list, Mike, Calvin Austin is back and practicing. Of course, he had the oblique. He's back in practice. That's a good sign because as of right now, he plays a huge role in this wide receiver room unless any moves are made after the people were released and all these other things today. And having him, Mike, getting healthy back out on the field with the oblique, I think has got to be a big sign for the Steelers.
That's a huge sign. God, because we need him, man. I think he's going to be a huge part of this offense. If they can get him out there a lot and use his speed to just as a decoy on a lot of plays, shifting, guys over, that's going to open up the offense for a lot of guys underneath and across the middle. We need him back.
Alex Highsmith, next guy on the list, Alex Highsmith, who has been out with his.
Can we just do the players who weren't injured? We might be done by now.
Well, the show will be over in 10 minutes if we did that. Guys, Alex Highsmith, when asked how he is doing, he's asked if he will be ready to play by week 1. He said one word: absolutely. So Alex Highsmith with his groin in the next 12 days expects himself to be ready and prepared to play in the opener against the Jets. Mike, that's Alex Highsmith.
Yeah, and real quick, he said that they're focusing on again to make sure it doesn't flare up again. So
yeah, you don't want your groin to flare up.
If you do, Ryan will be there to rub it down.
Also, Mike, Jonnu Smith returned from his nagging injury, Mike. Just yet another name. Again, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce plays three series over the weekend, Mike. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown, and nobody injured. Again, I just don't get it. I don't understand what the hell goes on. Every guy that we have gets injured, and they let their star quarterback and star everything play, and they're just fine scoring touchdowns.
I guarantee you, we would put Aaron Rodgers out there, he'd get hit and turn into dust.
Exactly. I mean, come on, we know the deal.
We know our luck.
And also, guys, let me jump back on the board here real quick, Mike. Everybody's saying happy birthday to RB. His big day today. RB's big birthday, my man. Of course, I hope you enjoy it. Corey says, RB, happy birthday. I hope you get I hope you get some birthday butt one time for one time. Laugh my ass off. Tortilla says they don't got bananas in Pittsburgh. What the hell are they feeding our players? They need some potassium. What is in the water? Who's pulling the hamstrings?
You don't want to know what's in the water.
No, you don't
around
want
here, brother. You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
It makes your
guys,
hair go. Makes your hair disappear. Makes your hamstrings turn into rubber bands.
Yeah, Mike had a full head of hair before he started drinking the Pittsburgh water, and look at him now. Just look at him now, would you? Guys, let me give you the list of players that were released yesterday. I'm sure everybody's seen this list, but we are going to go over it because, again, Mike, this is the list before the list. Today, we're getting cut down to 53. This was the latest cut downs of yesterday. Of course, kicker Ben Sauls, inside linebacker Mark Robinson. Mike, we've been calling this one for years. For years, yeah. I've been saying, when are they going to cut this guy? Finally, they cut Mark Robinson. Sean Jamison, the cornerback, Darrell Porter Jr., the cornerback, Kyler Baugh, the defensive tackle, Julius Weshkoff, the outside linebacker. On the offensive side of the ball, Mike, tackle Stephen Jones, guard Aiden Williams, running back Lou Nichols. I like that guy. I don't know if he's going to be a star or even a starter in the league, but the guy is a hell of a runner, and I hope nothing but the best for Mr. Lou Nichols. JJ Graubrief has been cut. Max Hurlman, even after the backflip, Mike, and the touchdown, he has been cut. Lance McCutcheon cut, and Cameron Johnston cut, Mike. And you'll notice two names in this list were big names as far as special teams goes in the preseason. And we have cut Cam Johnston, Mike, and Corliss. Yeah. Corliss did win. Waitman, he did win the punt off in the preseason. Between the two, Corliss Waitman will be our punter this year, but I don't have any issues thinking that these other two are going to have a hard time finding work, Mike. No. Again, there's injured punters and kickers in Miami and New Orleans. These places, they're going to be looking for some reliable legs. And those two guys, again, Cam Johnston, Mike, with great numbers throughout his career, and Ben Sauls, he's going to be a kicker. He's going to be somebody's kicker in this league. And those are two pretty good special teams guys. Mike, from this list, does anybody stick out to you as far as being cut that you didn't think were going to be cut?
Cam Johnson, like over on the website, I had my prediction for the 53-man roster, and I had him just beating out Carlos Waitman. But, you know, Waitman has more of a leg than Johnson showed in the preseason. Cam's really good at pinning inside the 20, but I think Waitman's just good enough, and I think his leg is more powerful now and coming back from that injury. I think the Steelers are okay. We know what we have in Waitman. He was here before. We're comfortable with him, and like RB points out, you know, Boz is really comfortable with him holding as well, and we saved some money from Cam Johnson. Not that I'm implying that the Steelers made this cut to save money like they're the Pirates, but you never know, man. That money that they're saving on Cam could go to a Boswell contract. But you can't go wrong with either of those punters. But we signed Cam Johnson last year to be our long-term guy, and he wasn't able to play, and Waitman was, and best ability is availability. And the guy won the job. Waitman won the job.
He won about four. He got paid about $4 million to have two punts. Like that is not a bad run.
Not bad, brother.
In the NFL for anybody. I would take that job. Of course, the punts wouldn't be anywhere nearly as good as these guys. But Mike, $4 million for two punts.
Yeah.
He didn't lose.
He did not lose. And I think he's going to find a job real quick. There was reports out there that the Saints were trying to make a trade for Waitman. If that's true, that shows you how much the Steelers really like Waitman, that they were able, to say, no, we're going to hold on to him. We're not going to take any more draft capital. We like this guy so much better than the guy we were cutting, where we don't want to trade him. And Ben Sauls has it. These cuts don't come official till 4 o'clock. So there's a possibility he might be traded to Miami if Miami wants to jump the line, because, they need a kicker, and Sauls looked really good in the preseason, was a really good college kicker. And if they don't want to go the veteran route, and they want to go a younger guy route, we might be able to squeeze something out of them, but I'm not holding my breath on that.
I do know, Mike, that the Dolphins, their kicker is out 4 to 5 weeks with a hip injury, so it would make a lot of sense for them to pick up the place kicker. Also, Mike, the Saints, they have an injured punter, and again, Johnston would fit very well, Mike, in any team, I think, looking for a punter. Apparently, his kicking during the competition, his hang time wasn't as good as Waitman, and I guess that's what it came down to because they both punted so flawlessly. Yeah. It came down to the hang time. Hey. Waitman was one of the better in the preseason, where Johnson was actually one of the on the low end of the hang time. So again, I don't know how much you take away from that, but again, Mike, Corliss Waitman does win this competition. He will be your punter again for the Steelers, guys. So much going on. Again, we do have Mike on the job. Anytime anything happens over the next 2 hours, Mike will be on top of it real time to let you know any moves, any cuts, any trades, anything that happens across the NFL, especially us guys here in Pittsburgh with our Steelers. So Mike is on top of that. A lot of things to get into today, as we did cut about a dozen guys again yesterday.
I got a whole updated list of Steeler cuts here.
Okay, all right, hold off on 1 second.
Yep, so
the first cut, the first time around, I think we let go around 11 guys at the end of last week. Yesterday, they let about a dozen guys go, and Mike is saying right now, real time live, he's getting a list of up-to-date cuts. Mike, what do you got? Mike, as a matter of fact, if you don't mind, I'm going to step away real quick. You handle the cuts, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, a lot of cuts. I'm going to just go through them all. There's going to be a couple carryovers from what Ryan had. A lot of these are not surprising. I think a couple of these guys will make it back to the practice squad, but Logan Woodside's gone. Evan Hall's gone. Lou Nichols, like we said. Hurlman McCutcheon gone. Another tight end gone. Kevin Full-Size. Gareth Warren's gone, but I think he's going to end up on our IR. Steve Jones, Doug Nestor, Julian Pearl, and Aiden Williams, all into linemen. That looks like I think Ardris Pete's going to make the team. Kyler Baugh from the D-line's gone. Echo Leoto, he's gone. I look for him to be back on the practice squad. Devin Harper, Mark Robinson, I think he makes it practice squad. Julius Welskoff, the German, he's gone. He's going back to the Rhineland. Kenny Wilke's gone. Then defensive backs came Alexander, Deshaun Jamison, Quindell Johnson, Kyler McMichael, Derek Porter Jr., and Mickey Victor, all gone. I don't know if any of those guys are going to make the practice squad, but a lot of DB cuts, maybe by the skin of his teeth. Beanie Bishop and Corey Trice Jr. will make the team. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets cut, and especially like Corey's saying on the board. You know, what are we going to do at quarterback with Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph? I was hoping we would trade one of those guys, probably Skylar Thompson, to the Raiders, but then they get Kenny Pickett for a 5th-round pick, which, you know, seems to be the going rate for Kenny Pickett is a 5th-round pick. It's wild how many times this guy's been traded for a 5th-round pick. We still have, like, the Saints might need a quarterback. They can take Skylar Thompson. They're willy-nilly handing out draft picks. I mean, they're going to suck this year. Let's see if we can get something from them.
Yeah, Mike, I think that Kenny Pickett is trying to become the new Ryan Fitzpatrick in the league. He's off to a great start. As a matter of fact, nobody's been ever been off to a better start than Kenny. Mike, he's been on more teams than he's had seasons in this league. And
he got a Super Bowl ring, brother.
He does have a Super Bowl ring.
The cap to him, man.
A lot of things going on, guys. Let's keep up on the board, Mike, and then we'll get back to this. Here, John says birthday. Burp, that's right, baby. How you doing, John? Always great seeing you on the board. Aaron says, here we go, Steelers. What's up, Aaron Jade? Always great seeing you as well. Corey says, happy birthday. Okay, we got that one. Aaron Jade says, holding is the reason, I believe. Tortilla says, I think Caboli said it was more of the money issue and risk of re-injury. He said he doesn't think Cam lost a job with his play, but who knows? Corey says, the con artist should trade Thompson now so we don't have to put Howard on the IR all year. There's no way the Raiders wouldn't give us Myers for Thompson and a 4th. That would solve multiple issues. What's up, Vegas? Always great seeing Vegas. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. Always great seeing you, brother. Always great seeing you. And Tortilla says, I low-key hope they keep Bruner and Kent on the 53. I don't know how bad Kent's injury is, though, or how bad Trice is. I think they keep Carson Bruner. I really do, Mike. Mm-hmm. He led the team in tackles, I think, a couple of the preseason games. He's a beast on the special teams. As a matter of fact, there wasn't a special teams coverage play that I didn't see him either making the tackle or around the tackle. I think Carson Bruner makes this team, Mike. I really do. And let me grab Tortilla one more. He says, at Corey, I doubt we keep Thompson in an extra 4 or 5 weeks. Just do that. What we can do now, it would benefit Thompson to get cut. Now, no one will trade for him. You know what? And as you know, was mentioned here earlier on the board just a minute ago, Mike, this was thrown out there by putting Howard on the injury reserve and having Skylar Thompson as your number 3 quarterback. How likely is that to happen? Especially now that Will Howard is he's going to be back to full participation really soon, according to Coach Tomlin. Mike, his injury is getting better. He's throwing at practice with the broken hand still. Again, Mike, this was speculation early through the weekend that Howard could be put on IR, and then it would be Aaron Rodgers, Rudy Thompson, and then Will Howard in the IR. Mike, how likely is this?
I don't. If he's getting ready to throw, there's no way they're going to burn a year of him, because when you're on IR, you cannot practice. It's all rehab stuff. You're there, but you're not allowed to. You can't pick up a ball and throw. So why would they do that? The only way they could do that is if they put him on like that IR eligible to return. But you only get, I think, like 2 or 3 of those a year. Why burn one on your 3rd string quarterback? I feel like they're going to try and shop Skylar Thompson. If they can't get anything for him, they're just going to cut bait and then move on without him. I think that's what they're going to do. I don't see a way they keep 4 quarterbacks. I don't. Because by that time, like if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt and the season's looking like an attack, you go ahead and you put in Will Howard. Or if you think you might be able to compete, you put in Mason Rudolph, who has a better NFL track record than Skylar Thompson does. So that to me, that's the logical quarterback room.
Mike, let me ask you a question. If Skylar Thompson outperforms Mason Rudolph in the playoffs as he did, but yet you would keep Mason Rudolph above Skylar Thompson, what's the purpose of even letting these guys have competitions and playing in the preseason if it means nothing?
They weren't having a competition. Those two.
Realistically, if you're a football player or any athlete, I mean, you're always in competition for your position, Mike. And at the end of the day, one guy outperforms the other, and the other guy still gains no ground. What's the purpose?
That they both have an NFL track record against NFL starters, and Mason has a little bit better of a track record than Skylar Thompson does. So you have to look at the totality of their resume, and based on their resume, when given the chance to start, Player A was better than Player B, and what they showed in the preseason was not enough to push them over the top. And they're both around the same age, so you figure their development, they both peaked in their progress of the player they're going to be. So, at that point, I'm going to go with the guy who has the better track record in the NFL.
That's interesting. Again, I mean, you could say that about anybody else. I mean, Cameron Johnston has a better track record than Corliss Waitman in the NFL. But again, just a question I did want to bring up, Mike, as we do go through today. Again, Mike is on top of real-time live updates all show today. If anything happens, Mike is on it. He will certainly get that out to us. Before anybody else knows, guys, let's get into some of the around the league news, Mike, of people moving and things like. Well, one more thing. The Steelers, guys. The Steelers are, Mike, on the top of the list of people that could possibly land Shiloh Sanders. Mike, as Shiloh Sanders, he gets cut by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because over the weekend, Mike, he takes a shot by punching Bills tight end Zach Davison in the head. Mike cut, but now the Steelers, the Saints, then Denver are the 3 teams, Mike, on the top of the list that could land Shiloh. Mike, I don't see it happening in a million years. No. We have no space, no room, no interest in a Shiloh Sanders, Mike. But I'm going to be honest with you. He's going to land somewhere. Where's he going to be?
He's going to land on someone's practice squad. But when I saw that list too of like Shiloh Sanders, Steelers, like or just any player that has name recognition is going to come to the Steelers. Is that what people are doing now to have clickbait engagement? I saw that like there's no possible way. This list was made up by someone who has zero NFL football knowledge. There's nowhere on this roster he fits in. It was
no capacity at all. And even I think if we did have Mike, I think if we did have capacity for him, I still don't think Shiloh Sanders becomes a Steeler. Mike, also going back, just again, DeMarvin Leal with many other Steelers have been cut this morning or are being cut or in the process of being cut, Mike. And with DeMarvin Leal being cut, that is the 3 top picks from the 2022 draft that are the draft that are no longer on the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike. That starts with Kenny Pickett, of course, with the top pick that year, George Pickens with their second pick, and now DeMarvin Leal. Only two guys from that 2022 draft that remain on the team, Calvin Austin III, and, of course, everyone's favorite,
Connor Hayward.
Connor Hayward.
Who would have thought out of that group it would be those two guys?
The Connor Hayward would outlast George Pickens, and come on,
like the nepotism hire and the little guy. Who would have thought? I also got another update here.
Yes.
I want my sound effect tool.
Was that what that was supposed to be? Your sound effect?
I'm trying to, but it doesn't want to unmute.
I thought you were covering up a fart, and I thought, well, I'm not going to say nothing to embarrass him. But that was the update bell, huh?
Yeah, and it doesn't want to unmute, so
right.
it might not work.
All right, just give us the update.
I'm good. Robert Woods has been cut. Surprise, surprise.
Robert Woods, everybody. Robert Woods has just been cut by the Steelers. Mike on real-time play-by-play updates all show, guys. Robert Woods has just been cut by the Steelers. Not a surprise to me, Mike. I thought that they would have definitely no, you know what? It doesn't surprise me at all. There's just too many. There's too many 3s through 5s at this point. Somebody has to go. And you know what? Robert Woods is another Van Jefferson. He's another. Who was the guy before Van Jefferson? Allen Robinson. Guys, he was in that carousel players, and it does not surprise me one bit that Robert Woods is gone.
He served his purpose. He was brought in as that veteran leader to help lead this young receiving corps, show them how to be a pro, go about the right way of doing things. You players respond better to players. So that's what he was brought in for. And he was a steady influence on those guys. And he served his purpose. And now get on with your life's work, buddy.
Absolutely. Let me grab a couple comments, guys. All the comments are always great. Here on the show, Mike, let me catch up here. Corey says they could put Howard on the PUP and keep Thompson until week 5 or 6 at the latest, right? See if a quarterback goes down, and if that doesn't happen, cut him and put roster back on the active. Mike, is that a possibility?
For which one? Oh, sorry, I was checking out some moves here.
Corey Beaver's asking about the keeping Thompson around week 5 or 6 in case there's any injuries.
You would have to carry 4 receivers or burn one of the come back onto the roster spots with Will Howard, and I don't think that's happening.
All right. RB says the new IR rule states anyone in IR isn't allowed to be around the team at all. No meetings, practices, weight room, games, nothing. So Howard is IRing Howard is a huge mistake. Yep. I agree. I don't think that's going to happen. Tortilla says, I guess the same reason we didn't cut Gainwell for Nichols is experience, of course. But you know what? I like that Lou Nichols, guys. Whether he's going to be anything in the pros, I don't know. But what I seen from him in preseason was pretty impressive.
If we can get him back on the practice squad, I'm all for it. Anyone who shows that type of burst, keep him around.
Corey RB says, Corey, the PUP list is for non-football related injuries. Mark Malone, good morning, sir. Welcome to you as always. Mark Malone says, Magnum was playing against the first team. No competition. Magnum was playing against first teamers. Thompson against future unemployed guys. Richard, what's up, man? Richard says, happy cut day. Yes, sir, of course. Tortilla saying Shiloh will be going to Cleveland. That would not surprise me. That would not surprise me if Shiloh goes to Cleveland. It seems right. It feels right. RB says Shiloh will be on the Tampa Bay practice squad. I think that's more than most likely what's going to happen. Yeah. I think he ends up on Tampa Bay's practice squad. That's just my opinion.
If Richard, he didn't throw that punch and get ejected, he probably made the tail end of the 53-man roster.
I think so because
you got to keep your head in the game.
I agree. Richard said he's going to Oakland. Yeah, Oakland's taking everybody at this point. Tortilla says Shiloh isn't over 30 and he isn't a tight end. No way he signs here.
My mistake, brother. My mistake. I wasn't thinking.
See the board, man. They're tough. They're always on top of things. Fidge says it was definitely a fart. That was not a bell here to let us know that there was an update. That was definitely a fart. Finch, I agree. Great minds think alike. RB says also, thank you, Corey. I got my birthday butt last night. Kept the wife up till 4 a.m. and she had to be at work at 6:30.
Alert.
So I'm going to be in the doghouse till tomorrow. Mike, what do you have? You have a new alert.
No, I'm sorry. I thought I had all my stuff muted. I was fixing it. I apologize.
So a fart sound indicates that you have news. The alert means nothing. Let me jump back.
We do things here, brother.
Mark Malone, he says, I hope Highsmith and Herbig can flush the sand out of their vaginas. And you know what? Herbig is another one, guys. Herbig is hoping to be ready for week 1, guys. We don't know that he will be ready at this point for week 1, but we do know that Herbig is hoping. So he's on that list of guys that we did mention and where they're at with their injuries at the moment. Tortilla says, Bobby, cut the trees. And Corey says, thanks, RB. The injury designations don't make sense to me sometimes and how they differentiate each other. I try not to think about injuries, LOL. With this team, that's a hard feat to follow. It really is, because the injuries are so prominent on this Pittsburgh Steelers team over the last 5 years, give or take. Mike, and again, all the names we went through, Keanu Benton, Corey Trice, Calvin Austin, Highsmith, Jonnu Smith, Herbig. The list goes on, and these are all important guys that are going to be important, Mike, on this team. And provided, like I said, Corey Trice may not be on the roster when it's all said and done, but I like him. I wish he would get his – I wish he could stay healthy. I really do, Mike. He has nice size, and even if he's not a starter in the defensive backfield, he's a good backup because of his size.
Yeah, he is, and he can – he has the speed to run stride for stride with some of the better receivers in the league. Like you said, he's big too, which is what the Steelers like. They want the guys around like 6'1", 6'2" on the outside, rangy guys. It's that injury bug, man, and that's why he fell to the 7th round, man. You can see the talent and all the potential in the world in this kid. Any hockey fans out there, Bo Bennett from the Penguins, he was that guy too, who had all the talent in the world, injured. There's this guys that, for whatever reason, cannot stay healthy.
Mike, here's some of the big names that moved over the past couple of days, guys. Scary Terry did not move, but he did. Yep. He did strike a deal with the Washington Commanders. Scary Terry is off the list. He did. I think that what was it? It was it's a long-term deal, isn't it?
3 years added on to his contract. So, yeah, I think it's like a 4-year. It works out at like 4 years, 120, 30 million average. So good for Scary Terry.
And then obviously another guy that we, Mike, that we had interest in, Amari Cooper. He goes to the Raiders on a 1-year deal. This Raiders team is interesting to me, Mike. They just, at this point, they're kind of taking anybody and everybody. But it doesn't surprise you, Mike, because they are going to be the odd man out in the AFC West this year, with the Chargers and Denver both becoming better every year, and then Kansas City, Mike. So this Raiders, it's the Cleveland Browns out west, in my opinion, and that's what they're looking like right now.
That's what it's looking like. They have some good players on that team. I just don't know how everything's going to gel out there. And I think this might be Amari Cooper's last hurrah too.
I
go back to one of his former teams and ride off into the sunset.
Mike, also Miami cuts former Steeler Mike Hilton. He's been cut by the Dolphins. Trey Hendrickson, Mike. Trey Hendrickson reaches a 1-year, $30 million deal with the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, he was holding in, whatever he was holding, Mike. He was holding the right cards because, again, 1 year, $30 million for Mr. Trey Hendrickson, last year's sack leader. Mike, they get that deal done.
They get the deal done, and it works out to where he's gone after this year. And so it's like they paid him money to more or less just leave us next year. We don't need any defense next year. Just go, bro. That this team is, for as nice as the big three that they have on offense, they have no offensive line, they have no defense. It's going to be a shit show down there, and I'm here for it, man. I can't wait to see it.
Of course, guys, Aiden O'Connell for the Raiders with his injury. The quarterback, Mike, he is out 8 weeks with a broken wrist, and this is where the Browns trade sending Kenny Pickett to the Raiders, Mike, Las Vegas for a 2026 fifth-round pick, Mike. So Kenny is heading out west.
Alert.
All right, we got a new alert, Mike. What do we have?
Former Steeler favorite Arthur Millette has been cut.
Okay, Arthur Millette cut.
Every time he got cut by the Steelers, he talks shit on us. Let's see if he talks shit on his new team that just cut him.
All right, there you go. Arthur Millette, guys, up to date. Mike is live, real time, all show today, keeping up to date because this is one of the busiest days.
Maybe we cut James Pierre. We're bringing back Arthur Millette.
There you go. A couple more things, Mike. So Aiden McConnell, that happened with the Raiders. So they got Kenny. Mike, this one was funny, I thought, was former Pitt quarterback Ben DiNucci gets signed and cut by the Falcons since the last time we've seen everybody. Yes, that happened over the weekend. Ben DiNucci gets signed by the Falcons, Mike, and he's already on his way out of Atlanta. That didn't take long.
No.
But again, geez, oh, man.
He had one of the best tweets I've seen. It was like, nothing tastes better than that airport beer after you've been cut by the team that just signed you.
Absolutely. He was only there for, I don't know, it couldn't have been more than 48 hours. I seen
Ben
one post, and then I
yeah.
turned around and seen the other post that he was gone.
Like, Ben DiNucci seems like a guy that I would love to hang out with. He just seems so like the funny shit that he says on Twitter. He's a better Twitter poster than he is a NFL quarterback.
Well, Mike, he is from Pine Richland. He's right up
Yes,
the
yes,
road
he is,
here,
brother.
so
Yes,
you
he is.
may run into him one day, and we'll be able to have
Like
that
I
beer
would,
with him.
oh yeah, hell yeah. I tell you what though, man, he started some games in the NFL. You know, gave people some hope. I like Ben DiNucci.
Let's see what else we got, Mike. So with Kenny going out west, that leaves because they cut Snoop. They cut Snoop Huntley also over the weekend, Mike.
Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. But Mike, that same way that Russell Wilson became a Pro Bowler last year, though. So
exactly.
I guess But Mike, that does leave them with Shedeur Sanders, Joe Flacco, and Dylan Gabriel as their quarterback room. Mike, is this pretty much what you expect? I expected Kenny to be a part of this because, of course, we didn't know the Raiders' injury was going to happen with O'Connell. But I expected Kenny to be in this mix of guys. But this group that they have, Shedeur, Flacco, and Gabriel, Mike, this sounds about right?
It sounds about right, yeah. Once they drafted Shedeur, you kind of figured that Kenny or Joe Flacco was going to go. And you figured, okay, maybe they start Kenny and then start working down the line from there on the other two to see what they have. So really not that surprising, but a little bit surprising. I thought they would have just went all youth, but keeping Flacco there maybe to appease some of their veterans on defense to like, hey, look, we're trying. We got a Super Bowl winner as our quarterback. And then, yeah, it makes sense. Gabriel 2 and then Shedeur 3 for that team.
I think what it is they have, I think Joe Flacco is actually the smartest move they made, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't start Shedeur Sanders. I mean, he looks like garbage. He went let me see what he went. He was sacked 5 times last game. He went 3 for 6 for 14 yards, 56.3 rating. Mike sacked 5 times. Again, I think this is the right move for the Browns. And guess what? If it isn't, you know what? It's the Browns. And you can just chalk it up as it being the Browns making another bad decision at the end of the day. But, Mike, I think this is the move you go. Start your veteran. Let your 2 rookies. Again, they're rookies, these 2 kids.
Yeah.
Let them get acclimated with the league and maybe look for a year 2 starter or even like halfway through the season. You just don't know with that cluster up in Cleveland.
Yeah, and then they have 2 first-round picks next year.
Exactly. And I'm sure they're going to jack that up too.
Yeah, they'll pass on a quarterback or they'll go get Drew Aller.
You know what? That's funny because
a lot
of people are comparing him to Kenny's NFL career.
Yes, you know, I love me some Drew Aller just because he's my team's quarterback, but I also hate Drew Aller because he's my team's quarterback. So fucking go to Cleveland.
Mark Malone says cornerbacks are more prone to injury. It seems so. I mean, JPJ's been healthy though.
Motherfucking knock on wood. Don't even think about putting the hint of an injury on JPJ.
Vegas says Sanders bet the over on sacks for the game. Yeah, in a matter of time, like I said, when you get sacked more than completions, he threw 3 completions and he got sacked 5 times.
Dude, he was doing that Kenny Pickett rollout.
Yeah,
I'm going to do that blind rollout from a clean pocket. Like, dummy.
You figure good coaches would stop that. I don't know. Again, Cleveland, RB says just wait till the Browns are 1-5 and they bench Bazooka Joe for no fault of his own. The shitstorm starts with the Steelers, or starts with the Shedeur Reese fans. They're a cult. Tortilla says, yeah, Shedeur just keeps getting an excuse left and right. And the RB follows it up by saying the Sanders move will be the worst PR for Jimmy Haslam than Watson. Mark my words, this might force Jimmy to sell the team. All Broke wanted to sell some jerseys with the 5th round pick. Mm-hmm. Again, you know, you got to be thankful. You got to be thankful we got the Browns. At the end of the day, no matter how bad you're feeling about yourself or your team or whatever, you could always say, well, at least we're not the Browns, Mike. At least we're not the Browns.
So we got that going for us. You know, I'll take stuck in purgatory drafting 20th to 25th overall than being the Browns.
Right. Tortilla says they say he was playing with the bad O-line. Like that's an excuse to play bad. Like all those names on the back of that Browns jersey that you see, I'm sure they all had an excuse too. And
he fits right in with the Cleveland Browns.
He does fit right in. Mike and Kenny wasn't even around long enough to make that jersey.
I know. Play. That's what's sad. He was hurt. He
never started a game, so he will not be on that jersey. Mike, say what you want, but Kenny will not be on the back of that Browns embarrassment.
he got two things going. Well, three things going for him.
His
First
hot
round
wife.
pick, Super Bowl champion, and not on the Browns jersey.
And a hot wife. Come on, how bad can he be? Vegas says he ran out of bounds at least twice instead of three. I know. What a mess. What a mess up there. RB says also Z, who told you guys all draft season, Sanders was Kenny Pickett with a Hall of Fame dad.
That might be the best comparison. That's might be the best comparison.
Guys, a little. Let me get past this here just briefly, Mike. That old dumpling head, the one here in Pittsburgh that always gives us all the great information that tends to go back over itself.
10 to 12 days.
10 to 12 days, we'll call him. Because about 11 days ago, he said in 10 to 12 days, I see the Steelers making a move for a quarterback. Mike, he comes out yesterday and says, I don't think that the Steelers are going to add another wide receiver. Mike, just 10 to 12 days ago, we were going to grab another wide receiver. Now, yesterday, he says, I don't think they're going to make what goes through this dumpling head's head.
Like, hears something and then reports it, and vaguely reports it so he can have some wiggle room out of it.
I don't meathead. That's what he's all about. You're right. He just puts shit out there, but he gives himself enough wiggle room to get himself back out. This guy. Yeah. Let's see on the board. Also, RB says don't talk about hot wife being a plus when she's shagging tight end 3. Vegas says Kenny is going to end up getting a divorce now that he's in Vegas. But you know what? He could also turn around and get married.
Go right through the drive-through,
in the same place.
Right through the drive-through. Hey, it worked for Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and look at him now, brother.
You know what? I'll never forget that episode. In the convertible, she was unconscious. I'll never forget that Monday Night Raw, Mike.
Like how everyone in that bit did not laugh their asses off. Yeah. I do not know.
Welcome to Mark Derogatis. Say a similar last name that I have with the at the end there. Welcome to the board. Welcome to the show. He says Kenny Minihands goes to the Raiders. That's right. Kenny is off to the Raiders, guys. Aiden McConnell, their quarterback, did go down 6 to 8 weeks with a broken hand. Kenny Pickett is on his way to this mischief Raiders team. Like everybody, it's just like they just picking weird people and places and put it all together, and it's going to be the Raiders again. Mike, this is going to be Cleveland West, in my opinion.
Hey, the Pitt's best quarterback in 30 years is backing up WVU's best quarterback in 30 years. Look at that little ACC connection going.
There you go. Corey says, how can you be so close to the team and never have the right information? Exactly, with this meathead. You know what? I ask these questions all the time, and I never get a good answer. But ain't that the truth?
Right? If you're that close and you're hearing everything from everyone involved, how can you not parse out the truth?
Talking about Pittsburgh media in a nutshell. All right, Vegas says I was married by Elvis. That's right, Vegas. You and John both out in the Vegas area.
That's Vegas where my brother and his wife got married. Was
it really? That's why I'm never going to Vegas. What happens when
they planned it that way? They planned it that way. Like, it's cheap. We're going.
Yeah. See, I'm not falling for that. I can't leave that in Vegas. RB says that loaded Vegas tight end room is going to be happy with Amy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Amy Pickett, of course. RB is referring to. Tortilla, get this one, Mike. Tortilla, Kabuli gets his information from the fridge in the break room. That's how.
All that molded food in there's talking to him, brother. Trust me, I've been there.
There's no food in that room with him around, believe me. And then RB says the team uses these guys are useless idiots.
Yep.
No two ways about it. Good guys, welcome.
Huge media, man. They got to keep the team happy to stick around.
If you're just joining the show, welcome everybody. Mike is on the live updates all show. Anytime anything happens of any significance, guys, with the Steelers or even around the NFL, Mike will update us as we go. Doing a great job so far, Mike. We had some gas passed. We had the little alarm, the bell, some updates. You're doing a great job. Keep up the hard work, Mike. Let's continue on. These are some things, Mike. Aaron Rodgers says over the past couple of days, and mind you guys, today is final cut down day. We will be down to 53 men by 4 o'clock today. That's the deadline. And again, the Steelers are off just so they could say, how could you get fired on your day off when somebody does get cut? Mike, I'm convinced that's why they do it this way, because who doesn't like to do that to somebody? How the hell did you get fired on your day off?
You get fired for stealing boxes? Oh, Giants legend Tommy DeVito has been released.
There you go. Speaking of Tommy DeVito, Mike, did you see that AI video that they made with Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart, where
No.
Jackson Dart sticks his fingers in Jameis Winston's mouth?
No.
This legit looks like a real video. It's Jameis Winston standing on the sideline and Dart standing there, and you know how Jameis Winston does the W thing with his fingers?
Yeah.
Well, Jackson Dart does it and sticks the middle fingers right in Jameis Winston's mouth. I shit you not, I'm crying.
My God.
If you could find this, and then it's weird, like AI, you know how it turns into a dream, like different shit just starts happening that doesn't make sense. All of a sudden, Jackson Dart had cornrows, and it just looked like a whole different person. Really funny, as I said, it was wild to see him take his fingers and just stick them right in Jameis Winston's mouth.
Like, I tell you what, man, that you keep Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart together, I would film that shit. I'd watch them all day, brother. Jackson Dart looks like he's stoned off his mind, and you never know what Jameis is going to say.
I would like to watch. I'd watch a reality show with Jameis Winston. He's a very interesting guy.
And then you would just have the midget off to the sideline, just looking over. I'm like, "What you guys doing? Can I come? Can I play?"
Yo, I just got to tell you, if you see this video, keep watching because as he sticks his, that's when you realize it wasn't real. I mean, it looks real.
Like, I got a picture right now. There's all three, like Dart, DeVito, and Winston standing next to each other, just all smiling.
Well, Mike, and then Jameis Winston pulls a lobster out of his.
That's fucking great. That's a nice callback right there.
He has all his lobster. He's waving it around in the air. So again, hilarious AI, Mike. It's gonna be a problem.
I miss Florida State Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
he was a menace in a good way.
Vegas says Kabuli has a platinum McDonald's credit card, and then Corey Bieber says Mrs. Pickens getting that fryer mouth. Hey now.
Whoa.
Also, some things going on this weekend, Mike, over the past 3 days. Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers will reassess. He'll reassess what he's going to do in the future in February, Mike. He didn't. He kind of reneged a little bit on him, saying that this was going to be his last season. He says, "Talk to me again in February." So again, who knows what's going to go down with this team this year? Who knows what's going to happen? But we do know that maybe, just maybe, Aaron Rodgers may be back. We don't know if this is a good thing at this time. We don't know if this is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But he did come out and say, Mike, that he is going to reassess his plans for the future in February.
If he plays well, I'm open to bringing him back and still drafting a quarterback in the first round and having him mentor him and Will Howard. I think that would be a very ideal situation. And then the team can finally move on from Mason Rudolph, and you would have a nice little continuation there in the quarterback room. I would like that. But if he plays poorly or just plays mid and the defense has to do everything, it's time to move on, sayonara. But if he plays well and shows that, okay, he might have another year or two left in the tank, sign him for another 1-year deal. Get your young guy. Then if he sucks, boom, you start your young guy and you start the whole process ready to go. Because you would have a nice foundation of a team there.
I also do want to say good afternoon. Welcome, Cody. How you doing, brother? Always great seeing Cody on the board as well. Cody, welcome. It is cut down day. We're getting down to 53 men today. We got about 4.5 hours, guys. We are going to have a Pittsburgh Steelers final roster. What we do know so far, Mike, we'll go over the list here in another minute. Mike, if you could gather the list of the last dozen that we announced this morning, plus what we've what we've lost so far today, add them together. I'm going to just have you read that list here in a minute. Guys, welcome back, Cody. Tortilla says, I didn't think he plays another year. If he plays bad, if he plays good, I think he does. Either way, I'm okay with it. Have our first round QB sit behind him and cut Howard cut Rudolph next year. And it's interesting, guys, especially because we do have the draft right here in Pittsburgh, and I think they want to make this a big one, guys.
Yeah.
Again, maybe going after the franchise quarterback of the future is in the cards. It's hard to say.
Could be. But I don't see Colin and Weidel reaching for a player if they don't think there's one there, or if they can get one of the handful of guys that they want. I don't see them taking a quarterback to take a quarterback. But I can see them taking an impact player in the first round if they can't make a move to get up the quarterback, one of the two that they would want. So I still think they're going to have a damn good draft next year.
Mike, it's going to take a whole season to figure this out
I
because at the
know.
end of the day,
You never know how
the
it's gonna
quarterback
go.
situation could be good in January and February. Maybe let's say we lose a game, we get to playoffs, we win a game, we lose a game. We might be saying, you know what? We really need this. This is what stopped us from moving. It wasn't the quarterback situation. It was this. So there's a whole 17 plus games that still have to be played, Mike. And I'm here for it. And again, this is why we have the heart attacks every week in, week out. We have the heart attacks together, and we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. On the board, Vegas is the over-under teams that Kenny will end up with before he retires is 10. You know what? I think that's pretty low. I'm going to have to go over on that, Mike, because he already has, 4, 5?
He's already on, his 4th team?
Yeah, so I give
Steelers,
I give the over on Kenny. I really do, Mike. Again, he's in Ryan Fitzpatrick mode right now.
Mm-hmm. And I think he can be a viable backup quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, you know what? Here's another. Speaking of odds, Vegas got the odds going on, Mike. Here is some odds. This just come out also. Mike Tomlin, 28-1 odds to be the first head coach fired this season. 28-1.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Again, I'm throwing Vegas odds out there. 28-1, Mike. This is what they're saying in Vegas. This is what DraftKings is saying. There's 28-1 odds that Mike Tomlin will be the first coach fired this year. I'm going to say it all along. As I said it before, Mike, he's not getting fired. He's not going to get fired next year. And Mike, he's not going to be. He's going to go on his own terms unless something terribly wrong goes down in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that should be an even, right there. That should be even. Like 28-1 is still high. That is no. That's like a 1-to-1. You're just gonna get your fucking money back.
I think Vegas. Vegas. They again, like they know shit. I don't know how they know. I don't know what they know. But again, that is the odds as of right now for Mike Tomlin. Let's move on. I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go right to Mark Malone. He says, "Got to keep Magnum and Howard for next year." Yeah, they're sticking around. They're not going anywhere. Corey's saying in the draft, he thinks it's going to be quarterback, wide receiver, or center safety. Not a center.
Maybe cornerback safety.
A cornerback safety. Okay, gotcha.
I think we got our center for the next 10 years.
Vegas says Fitz Magic. It's Kenny. Tortilla says it's not set in stone that it's quarterback, but we have the resources to get one of the tops, maybe not the number one. Vegas follows it up by saying, no way the Roonies are firing a head coach. That's what I'm saying. There's no way. They still think what he's doing is great with these above 500 teams. Kenny had a winning record here. Kenny Pickett. What's that tell you? That tells me we have a good organization. We always put together decent players on the field. And some people are starting to think that Tomlin is being exposed, Mike, and he kind of falls into that category of being the Steelers head coach. Maybe anybody could have had success as the Steelers head coach, just because, again, for the last 60 years, we've certainly been one of the most, if not the most successful team in the league. So, again, it's tough to say. I don't think he's getting fired. I'm just making that known. That's my stance. Cody says next year, if we are somehow able to keep a second, or even if we trade or a first and a second for a quarterback, what are you guys drafting first round, wide receiver or O-line? Again, Cody, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that it's an easier call to make in December, January.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna find those holes. If there's issues on this team, we're gonna find them, and they're gonna stand out. And then in January, we're gonna be sitting here saying, this is what we want, this is what we need. Maybe Broderick Jones totally shits the bed this year and doesn't get it, even though he is looking better. Yeah. Maybe he shits the bed and doesn't get it, and we have to move on. And a left tackle becomes number one priority to keep our quarterback off his ass. Totally not out of the question. Yeah. So I think to answer the question fairly, it's going to take me personally to see some of the season play out, because what it appears to be now, it might not appear to be in January and February, and it's certainly in April.
Yeah, I could see, like, right now, just on the roster, O-line, like an interior guard. If say Amalo's getting older, and what if McCormick doesn't pan out the way they thought he would, grab a monster guard in the first round.
Yeah, no, I think eventually you're gonna have to tackle that anyway, Mike. Hopefully it's not this year's draft, and hopefully Ciamalo could be that guy. I think there's other things that could certainly come in the way first. But again, I got to watch it play out a little bit first before I make that call.
Because don't know, like Robin Wilson can, he can develop into like the way Juju developed, the way Deontay
Absolutely.
Johnson developed, and be that guy who we some of us are hoping he can be.
Tortilla says no way Tallman gets fired. He will just not get an extension. Vegas says we need TC and Higgins. Corey says the better question: are you more nervous or excited about this season? I'm more nervous. I'm both. I'm really excited because I'm ready to get Steelers season going. But I'm nervous too. But I got to be honest with you, Mike. I'm not as nervous as I was last year, and I was feeling good going into the season last year. So again, that's kind of where I'm at. A little of both to answer the question.
I'm excited. I'm excited because I'm excited because I don't know how the season's going to unfold, and I love that about it's like reading a book for the first time or watching a movie for the first time. You don't know how it's going to play out, so I just go along and I enjoy the ride. So I'm excited for every year.
Tortilla says, in my non-professional opinion, I think Khan is in love with the idea of Manning in black and gold and putting himself in position to sell the house to get him and keep the furniture. I would love to see Arch Manning come here. I just don't know if we're in good position to pull that off. I don't know. Again, we have to kind of see how things play out. Again, Mike, we tend to fall into that, right around 20 as far as picks go.
Yeah.
A lot of things are going to kind of have to happen for that to even be possible, Mike. And then as we were talking, there's a handful of quarterbacks that we would like out of the draft next year. So let's just say, Arch does come up. He does go early to a team that's, terrible. I still think there's a few guys that we could certainly be interested in, Mike. Your favorite, the guy down in South Carolina, certainly a name on that list.
He's my early favorite. Yeah,
he is your early favorite. What's his name?
Lenore Sellers.
Yeah. Go check out some of his highlights. Jeez, oh man.
There's still a lot of college football to be played too to see how these guys play, because you got to figure Arch has only played a handful. He's only started 2 games.
Yeah.
Like his numbers aren't bad, but he's only started 2 games, played in a handful of games.
You figure though, on the other hand, we're putting a lot of stock into a running back who's never played an NFL game too.
Exactly. Yeah.
So these are the risks you take in the NFL.
Yeah. Especially when you have to go young at skill positions to where you got to be the starter. You got to be the guy.
Absolutely. Mark Malone says need a guard, wide receiver, more defensive line, defensive end, and followed up by saying in cornerback. Cody says, I'm going to lose my shit if the first go on offense, we run for 2-yard pass, 2 yard for 2 yards, get sacked on third. I will throw my motherfucking remote through my TV.
Brother, you scripted it. That's how it's going to go, my man. Y'all know it.
I did enough to say it. And then I do want to say welcome to CD Double 34 Music. Welcome to the board. Great seeing you. He says, I think the so-called experts are making the Steelers go under the radar by picking them behind the Ravens and the Bengals. And you know what? I couldn't agree more. Mike. Yes, the Ravens, of course, do have a nice team. Yes, they went out and made some nice pickups this offseason. The Bengals, though, this is a team that I'm not afraid of. They're going to be able to put up 300 points against you a game. But, Mike, I don't know if they're going to stop you from being able to get 301 points. We were able to beat this team last year, one of the matches. We lost the other one, a close game, last game of the year by, 3 points, give or take?
19-17.
So, you come in with Aaron, providing the offense could move a little bit better than it did the past couple seasons. I like our chances against Cincinnati. And again, Baltimore and Pittsburgh games are always going to be good games. And I think that we have the best chance of beating Baltimore out of every time we play them than any other team in the league. They are us. We are them. We got better colors. At the end of the day, they built that franchise to compete with the Steelers in this division. Rightfully so, Mike, because the Steelers are the top dog. So when it comes down to it, you know what? CD Double 34 Music, I agree with you. I do. I think the Steelers at this point, until we see them go out and shit the bed and start to really doubt things, I think they have just about as good a shot as anybody else in this division, Mike. Just because, again, the Baltimore Ravens don't – the thing about the Ravens, they're good against everybody, just not us.
Yeah, like
they find a way to win games against everybody.
Because they treat us like it's a playoff game, and you can see that nervousness in – like usually in that first matchup, I feeling like we always win that first matchup. Then when we play the second game against them, they're not as nervous every year. Because you saw, they beat us that second game last year, And then the playoffs, they totally mollywopped us.
Yeah.
But I think when both teams are healthy and playing at their highest level, we just find a way to beat them. And they find a way to beat themselves a lot of the times.
And
Where it can be an even game, and then Lamar will fumble or Lamar will throw a pick. They find a way to choke against us.
See, my problem with them is this. We always kind of relied on Lamar choking. Again, those 8 wins in a row, we had some help. We had Lamar throwing the ball away.
Yep.
We had Lamar putting the ball on the ground. We had some things that went our favor. And those are the reasons why I like our chances, Mike. But at the end of the day, they have a really good team. I'm not taking anything away from the Baltimore Ravens. Again, making big pickups, Mike. We wanted who was the corner that we wanted? Jair Alexander. So I mean, they made big moves, Mike, that we would have took as well.
Yeah.
So again, classic Steelers, Ravens. I don't expect anything different this season.
Yeah, and the way we won, 8 out of 10, the pendulum's going to swing back their
Absolutely.
way.
The fact that we beat them 8 in a row is crazy.
That's insane. You just hope it's not as extreme as it was.
Yeah. Tortilla says that Diane recently said he hasn't made up his mind, and that was his family talking for him when they said he isn't coming out of college. You know what? That was true, and I did report that here on the show. We did talk about that, but then he came out last week and said that don't listen to what my grandpa said. He says I could still enter the draft next year. This is so it wasn't official when Pappy Manning was talking about Arch. We will see, guys. And again, college football, Mike. We got college football this week as well, so we can start keeping our eyes on these players as well.
I tell you what, Arch has a big first task going up against Ohio State. I don't know where that game is being played. I don't know if it's at the Horseshoe. I think it might be at the Horseshoe. If it is, that's a big task for him going in there. That place is going to be a raucous atmosphere going up against the national champion. We'll see what he's made of.
They're going to get crushed.
Ohio State is, yes.
No, Texas is going to
get crushed. Ohio State's got to get crushed, brother.
I don't know. I'm taking Ohio State in this one.
Me too. But it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts as that first big test on the road. Is he going to be like his uncle Eli and kind of fold under some of the pressure, or like Uncle Peyton, or is Eli? Eli just kind of let that shit roll his back.
Listen, I'm going to tell you the answer. I'm going to tell you the answer. Look at their face. Look at his face. If he has retard face like Eli, I say
he's winning.
So he has more of a Peyton face?
I don't know. I've never really studied
because Eli looks like what he was. Yeah, you know what I mean? He looks like what he was.
Slack-jawed yokel.
Slack-jawed yokel, and Peyton
doesn't let anything get to him and goes out and does his thing.
Let's hop back on the board here, Mike. Tortilla says they get in their own way against us a lot. The Ravens, yes, they do. Yes, and we're lucky for that. I mean, that's something that went in our favor. Again, beating the Ravens 8 times in a row, it really speaks volumes, guys, of what the Steelers are in that particular rivalry, guys. The Ravens were built to play and beat Pittsburgh. That is, it's no simpler than that. They're in the AFC North. That team is built to win in the AFC North, guys. CD says this. He says, how do you beat Lamar and Burrow? We have the defense to do it, and all we need is Aaron not to lose the game. Hey, you're right. You're right. And hopefully we can get a little bit more than that from Aaron. Maybe we can get a little production on top of not losing the game. Maybe a lot of that goes into what we do today, Mike. Again, we there's some receivers still floating around out there. And again, Mike, just giving more weapons to Aaron, I think, goes a long way. Of course, Jacoby Myers, and even Gabe Davis, Mike, even as he came and left, went to Buffalo and visited, there still are some guys out there. So, I'd like to get Aaron as much weapons as we can on offense, so it doesn't have to come down to just don't lose the game. I would like to see more weapons, the better, in my opinion. Vegas says they lost 14 guys to the draft, too. I'm not betting that game. And then Tortilla says, how do we beat Lamar and Burrow? Manning, get a damn Manning. So there you go, guys. A lot of great messages on the board today. Let's get into a few other things. Mike, YA Black still leaving people floored at his performance in the preseason. Mike, a lot of people comparing him, saying, can this guy be the next Mean Joe Green? Just in the sense that he is so hard, he can be so hard to defend. Mike, being productive like he is in just the first couple preseason games, if the guy keeps continuing to work on his game, continuing to work on his skill set, continuing to put his body where it needs to be, and as far as the size where he can still do everything he needs to do, I'm really excited, Mike, to see what YA Black is able to do. And again, with all these injuries,
Yeah.
All these injuries on the defensive line, Mike, I think he's going to get ample opportunity early on, especially against the Jets, because some of these defensive linemen, Mike, as we went over at the beginning of the show, Benton and whoever else, Mike, we do have issues. And Cam, with his situation going on, Mike, I'm loving the fact that we're probably going to get a chance to get a look at Y.A. Black early in the
Me
regular
too.
season.
I liked when we got him. I was like, all right, we got a big bastard. We just stick him right in the middle. And then started watching him play. He looks more athletic in the preseason than he did in college.
I agree.
And the way he was able to, he's going up against guys that might not make the roster, but the way he was able to move them where he wanted to move, oh, I got to plug this hole. I'm gonna use you to plug the hole, and then I'm just gonna push you back in, or oh, I'm gonna just move you over to here, and I'm gonna walk by and get the sack. He's strong and sneaky athletic. If he almost reminds me of Stephon Tuitt.
Yes,
but not as
right.
athletic.
Right.
Tuitt was strong and really athletic, but he just has I can picture him opposite Cam Hayward the way Stephon Tuitt over on the other side, just moving people around and getting there. Not as quick, but just as powerful. And then you had Derek Harmon, who was had a really quite
Derek Harmon. That's the other.
He had a really good preseason too. The way he was just able to get pressures and move people around. But Y.A. Black, I think he can be a damn good DN there. He might not be flashy, but he will get the job done. Maybe Aaron Smith. Aaron Smith might be Aaron Smith.
Celly. How was that not flashy?
Exactly. I fucking love the belly celly.
Mike, I was doing the belly celly before I got in the shower the other day. I obviously don't have the belly that he has, but come on, this guy.
And I do the belly celly.
This guy is animated. I love him. I'm here for it, baby. Y.A. Black is going to be, and as we said, Mike, early on, Harmon expected to miss. They're saying hopefully just one game. Of course, our overall pick, Mike, Derek Harmon, and then again, Keanu Benton, Mike, he is also dealing with that injury. So there's no doubt in my mind we're going to get that taste of Y.A. Black in New York here in 12 days. That's right, 12 days, guys. And you figure the NFL season starts even sooner. That next Thursday it does kick off. So it's here. We are at the doorstep, guys. Today is cut down day. 53 men today by 4 o'clock. Mike is on the updates all show on real time, keeping up with everything. If anything happens, any moves, any cuts, anything, Mike will have that information for you as fast as you could possibly believe it, guys. Today is the final day, 53 man, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it's only 12 days until the season kicks off for the Steelers. Of course, the guys are off today for this day, but Mike, again, this can be a far from an uneventful day if you think about it. Not on top of guys getting cut that maybe you like, maybe some surprises, Mike, but also again, Jacoby Myers is now floating around out there, and because other moves have been made, other people are going to become available. So the Steelers are going to be
alert.
Oh, we do got a red alert, Mike. What is it?
It's not a major alert, but something that you keep an eye on. Green Bay released 2 of their backup quarterbacks. So now they just have Jordan Love and Malik Willis on there. They have a dearth of wide receivers. A couple of those guys have played with Aaron Rodgers, and they're not just Aaron Rodgers guys get them because to make Aaron Rodgers happy. They were productive guys. Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson, draft pick package there to get a receiver.
I mean, these are guys
just if we're looking for receivers, are they looking for another veteran backup, someone better than Malik Willis or equal to have on their roster? Mason Rudolph, Skylar Thompson sitting right here. Do you got a receiver that you want to shift back? What kind of draft pick do you want? That right there might not. That's raising some attention for me right there, because I know we've been linked to people like Romeo Dobbs, Tavian Wicks on that roster. I don't know their injury status, but couple of those guys on that team, and if they need a quarterback, we got a plethora of quarterbacks as well. Just keep something to keep in the back of your minds, fellas.
All right, Mike, with all the updates, guys, as they come, you get them quicker than anybody, I promise you. Right here on the
they don't call me Vanilla Thunder, or never mind, that joke didn't work.
Guys, also, just in case you love to clown on the Browns like we do, Deontay Johnson was also released by the Browns this morning. Mike, he's following Kenny as far as let's try to see who could land on as many teams as we could possibly land on in a short amount of time. Again, Deontay Johnson, former Steeler wide receiver. has been cut by Cleveland. So seeing where he lands, it might even be interesting, Mike. So again, all kind of things going on today, working toward that 4:00 deadline today. We will keep you updated through the entire show as anything happens real time while touching on other topics. Mike, today also I do have, what else do we have? We have Coach Cowher. Coach Cowher makes a pretty nice comment about this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Like, he came out and said, this looks like the best put together team since the last playoff win that the Steelers had.
Wow.
That's encouraging. And the thing is, I thought we had some pretty nice teams in between now and then. But come on, can you argue that this team that's been put together over the past 3 off seasons by Omar Khan and Andy Weidel, I've never seen a team put together like this, Mike. This is Madden. This is what I think basically what we accuse LeBron of all the time, just grabbing all the best players you possibly can and throwing them on a team. And my question is, why haven't we been doing this all along?
Because that was not the Kevin Colbert way of building a team. It was draft and develop, and then maybe get lucky with a free agent. Where Omar Khan and Weidel was like, no, that's not how you do it in today's NFL. You can still draft and develop, but you have to supplement through key free agent signings to stay competitive. And my God, they are doing that right now. Now, everything has to work for this to be a good move, but I like it. We're going outside the norm. You have to try it. What we have been doing has been working. So I'm loving it. And the guys we got too can still play. We saw last year, these guys were still competing at a high level and close to what they did to earn their status of being recognized as some of the best in the league. I know people like to clown on DK Metcalf, saying, oh, he's not this, he's not that, but he's still putting up, damn good yardage, damn good touchdowns every year. And my God, defenses are still going to flock to him, so that's going to open up a lot of people. Jalen Ramsey's still playing at a high level. Who else? Who am I looking for? Cam, had a damn good year last year too. Can he keep it together? Darius Slay. He's not being counted on to be the guy in the secondary. He's counted on to be a productive member in that secondary, so he doesn't have the pressure on him. So these signings that Weidel and Khan did, free agency, I love it. In the way they've been drafting to these past couple years, they've been building a team, and everyone seems to forget we were 10-3 last year, the number 2 team. We cut the dead weight, and we reinforced the areas that needed reinforced.
All right, let me jump back on the board, Mike. I don't want to leave anybody out. Diane Callahan, welcome to the show. I do want to say welcome to the board. She says, will we shop for a free safety? I don't believe we will, Diane. So. I think we we brought in a lot of people during the offseason where I think they're happy with what we have at free safety right now. I think that the thrill is with all these cornerbacks and then Deshaun Elliott at strong. I think with the guys that we did bring in, I think that we are going to be – this is where we're going to be at the free safety position. And then one might say, do you feel like we dropped off with the loss of Minkah Fitzpatrick? I think would be the next natural question. And I would say over the past 2 to 3 seasons, you weren't getting the splash plays from Minkah that you were getting early on when he came to Pittsburgh. So I think this is going to all even out because they do have this 3-headed monsters by way of cornerback this year, talking about Ramsey, talking about Slay and Joey Porter Jr. I don't think that they're going to shop the free safety position, not now anyway. Again, I think they're happy with some of these guys that they did bring in. Juan Thornhill, he really put on a he put on a show in the preseason. So I think this is what they're going with, guys. Let's jump back on the board, though, and get some more guys. You guys, a lot of good comments today. Keep them coming. Vegas is Tampa Bay. Oh, where'd it go? Tampa Bay, they cut the 500-pound guy. Sorry, the 474-pound guy. That was a big guy in Tampa Bay. They did cut him, huh? That's the thing about being that big of a guy. It's a freak. He's a freak, which you would love. You love to have the big freakish guys, but when you're too freakish, you can't do the little things, as easy as somebody who's not 474 pounds. So that was probably the issue with them. I'm guessing. I don't know, but the 474-pound guy down in Tampa, Mike, has been cut.
Yeah, he's been cut. They wouldn't allow him practice or anything. He had to keep losing weight. He was losing weight, and he said, "Hey, I have an eating disorder. It is what it is." He's trying to get it in check. I hope he can get it in check because I want to see the big guy out there get down to around like 350. get more muscle, lose a lot of that fat. I want to see him in the middle of a defense. Him, Vita Vea, Clay Cansey. That would be fun to watch.
Tortillas says that's after I saw his interview in the locker room. I was like, yeah, this cat is old school. Martin Malone says, yeah, let the guy play. He's just, I can't wait. You know what, Mike? This might be one of my favorite draft picks this year. Y.A. Black.
Yep.
Y.A. Black. Come on. This is, I think he's going to be a big part of this defense moving forward. Martin Malone says, let the big guy play. V. Sampson, welcome to the board. Great to see you. He says Black will be Casey 3.0. I'll take it. 3.0.
I love some big snacks.
Martin Malone says Harmon is more like Tuitt. Yeah, that's with the ability. Yeah. I would agree.
But for some reason though, like every time I watch Y.A. Black play, I don't know why Tuitt pops into my head. I see more Harmon or Tuitt in Harmon, but for some reason there's something with Y.A. Black, just the way he plays. I don't know why. It's wrong, but I don't know why.
Vegas is Black Mountain and Black Washington. We'll take it, baby. And you know what? Yeah, definitely. And Mike, I have a hat for every single one of them guys.
Yes, you do. You have a hat for just about 48 of the guys on the roster.
That's right. Don't you forget it. Tortillas is Black Washington. Vegas says, you're okay. You bailed before you bombed.
I saw the joke failing and I just pulled the cord.
Cody says, I don't know. I want to trade our backup quarterback, considering our quarterback is 45 years old. You know what? Not a bad thought. Again, he's a lot closer. He's closer to 50 than he is to 30.
Sometimes you got to live life on the edge.
Aaron says, always. Oh, thank you, Aaron. We greatly appreciate that, sir. Diane says, washed. Tortilla says there's a picture taken in the Iowa locker room with Johnson and Black doing a jersey swap with a third guy named Large. Large Black Mountain. We may not get Large, but we got Black Johnson. Hey, we'll take it, baby. Let's see where we at here. Jimmy, welcome to the board, sir. Jimmy says Pat Freiermuth needs to be moved. Dude's not a tight end one. Never was, never will be. You know what? If we didn't have what we have going on right now, I mean, I would disagree. But we have such a tight end room full of talented tight ends. Again, Washington, he's coming up. Jonnu Smith, he's got mad talent. He's been around for a few years, and I would disagree with you if we didn't have both of those guys in there. But ultimately, I think he is disposable. I think we could move him if we have to. Mike, I know he's your Penn State guy, and I know how that goes. But at the end of the day, with what we have in that room, I think that we could move him and be fine. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, guys. At this point, I don't know. Again,
no. He's been. I think he's going to have a very productive year with Aaron Rodgers. We saw what he did his first year with Ben, what he was able to do last year with.
The problem is, Mike, is they're going to have to
Wilson.
find time to give him the ball. You have enough targets, and it's moved around a lot. It's hard for him to get those numbers that he got early on when Kenny Pickett was Kenny's only target at one point.
Yeah.
And so again, there's a lot of people that's going to be expecting the football this season, Mike, and especially if we bring in a wide receiver too over the next so many hours, we don't know what's going to happen. Again, of course, Jacoby Myers is floating around. And again, that Gabe Davis meeting, Mike, we still don't know what to expect from that. A lot of things could happen, guys, really. And again, in the what do we have? 3 hours. 3 hours and 5 minutes till the deadline, Mike. 53 men. And Mike is on top of everything, up to date. If any new information does come out while we are on the show today, we will have the information for you real time. Diane says, Jimmy, go back to sleep. He says, that is a crazy statement about Pat Freiermuth. Again, listen, if we didn't have everything that we have in that tight end room right now, I would have a different opinion possibly. But, Mike, I just think that, again, he's not as needed as he would be if he was the only tight end in the room, and he's just not. There's so much talent, and there can be so much production that comes out of those other players as well. And I just think that kind of takes him out of what he was early on this team.
I think he's still going to. I think he's going to have around another season like he did last year, close to 700 yards, another 7 to 8 touchdowns. I think he's going to be a viable weapon in this offense.
I just think he gets overlooked a little bit. Listen, I don't say they don't throw to him. I think he's going to get numbers. But again, there's a lot of things going on with a lot of different talented guys this year, new guys. Again, we'll see. But again, that is a stacked tight end room. I don't know if I've ever seen a talented tight end room stacked that much on a team. Cody says Juan Thornhill's a savage. Damn right he is. I like what I see from Juan.
I love me.
I loved what I seen from Juan.
We are getting Kansas City Juan Thornhill. We're not getting ruined by Cleveland Browns. Juan Thornhill.
I don't want Cleveland Thornhill by any means.
No.
RB says San Fran and Pittsburgh both in pursuit of Corley. So there's another name, guys. Again, if we bring in another name like a wide receiver, especially, that's just another person that's that Pat's gonna have to compete with just on the team alone to get his looks. So again, that tight ends could be. It's a good problem to have. The tight end room, Mike. It's a good
alert.
Oh, we got an alert, Mike. What is it?
Alert! Your boy Sam Hartman has been released by the Commanders.
All right.
That was your guy coming out of the draft.
I don't even care. Mike,
I had to pull. That was shout out to Derpy interrupting the show for no reason.
I didn't even. Where is he playing? Where was he at?
Washington.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. That wasn't exactly
inside joke for me to Ryan. To ruin the show.
Let's see. Vegas says this old joke alert. He was on a seafood diet. He would see food and he would eat it. Did Shark sign somewhere? I don't know.
I know he got released. I haven't seen anything yet about him.
And yes, Vegas, Deontay Johnson did get cut too. As of this morning, he's no longer Cleveland Brown. Mike, we will go over these names again just shortly of everybody that's been cut to this point. But again, guys, just 3 hours and 3 minutes away till 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time till the cut deadline for 53-man roster. We will know for the most part what our team is going to look like in a few hours, guys. And then we're going to keep our eye out for sure for other moves, other things, everything that's happening. It's a crazy day. I do got to tell you in the NFL, Mike, this is one of the more eventful days. And that is why we were trying to keep up to date by minute right here on the show, just so we don't miss anything. Cody says, I seen a play last year where Muth was in the field jumping up and down wide open and Russ didn't see him. I know. I just think that, again, I'm not taking anything away from Muth. I think Muth is a solid tight end, and I think that any team will be lucky to have him. But again, we just went out and grabbed Jonnu Smith, and that just makes things interesting to me, certainly at the tight end position. And, hopefully it plays for the better. Hopefully it plays into that Artie Smith offense that we keep hearing about where you could have 53 tight ends and nothing else, and it's all supposed to be good. But, again, we're going to see and learn for sure. Tortilla says gives Muth competition to either get better or get less snaps. Awesome stuff. 1983, welcome to the board. Great seeing you as well. Jacoby Myers isn't floating around. He's on as of when? Awesome stuff. I knew that he got cut by the Raiders.
No, he didn't get cut.
Or no, Mike, he requested to get traded.
He requested a trade.
So that's kind of floating, or am I wrong?
Yeah. The rumors about him are floating around. His availability is floating around.
Well, if he has to be traded, then he becomes an option, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's what I meant. I'm sorry, Austin, if I said the wrong message. RB says the alert should be Derpy Smoke Alert. It really should be.
I don't have that one on my sound saved. I was looking for it. I did not have it.
RB says Jags cut Chad Muma would be a nice inside linebacker fit here for depth. I don't know if we're looking for depth at the linebacker
I don't think so.
either.
Yeah.
I think we're looking for what we need at this point, and I don't think a linebacker the depth is. I know we did cut Mark Robinson, and maybe a couple other players might move, but I'm not sure that this is what we're going to be shopping around at this point. I think these other guys, these wide receivers, I certainly know that they're very interested in a wide receiver too. Whether it happens, whether it doesn't, we don't know. Again, giving another weapon, I think, is not a bad thing. And again, Jacoby Myers had requested to be traded from the Raiders, guys. Just in case, again, I didn't want to confuse anybody. That is what's going on. So I figured he's an option. That's all I was trying to say. He's an option for us, guys. Also, Mike, let's one more thing before we get into who was all cut so far, Mike. Who is saying this? I've seen this 3 times. Talking about Steelers possibly trading for Anthony Richardson. What a joke!
Oh my God!
Like I've seen that 3 times.
Yeah, me too. And it was never for again like none of the big accounts. It's all like the smaller accounts saying, "Oh, the Steelers should go get him." Why?
He's terrible. They don't even want him.
Like if you want to turn him into a skill position player, you got me. I'll listen. I'll listen because this cat should have stayed in college for another 3 years, made a shit ton of NIL money, and worked on his game. Like this is another guy that was that has talent, but that talent's not going to translate to the NFL if you don't have the pocket presence and can't read a defense. He should have stayed at Florida for another 3 years and got better. The cat's a freak athlete, but that works in college, but not in the pros.
It just doesn't kind of.
It's not. He doesn't fit what the Steelers are.
It doesn't fit with what we're doing. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've seen this from 3 different sources, and every time I read it, I thought, how freaking insane are you? Because again, Mike, he isn't even good enough. This battle between him and Daniel Jones is a joke. So it's just something that I thought was funny. But again, I kept seeing it pop up, so I definitely wanted to bring it up. Mike, why don't you give us the list of the most recent cuts and everything that we've got from during the show, real time today, as far as players cut today.
Every Steeler cut will go from quarterback down to long snapper. Logan Woodside, running backs Evan Hall and Lou Nichols, who I think is going to make practice squad. Wide receivers Max Hurlman, Lance McCutcheon, and Robert Woods. Tight ends were that deep tight end room lost 2 important guys, Kevin Fulsyke and J.J. Galbraith. Like 4 or 5 offensive linemen. Gareth Warren, he's going to go to the IR. Steve Jones, Doug Nestor, Julian Pearl, and Aiden Williams. D lineman Kyler Baugh. Linebackers Echo Lioto, who I think was going to go practice squad. Devin Harper. Mark Robinson, who I think will go to practice squad. Julius Wellscroft, the German. He's going back to the Rhineland. And linebacker Kenny Wilkies. DBs Cam Alexander, Deshaun Jameson, Wendell Johnson, Kyler McMichael, Darryl Porter, Mickey Vicker, and kicker Ben Solis, punter Cam Johnson, and long snapper Jake McQuaid.
So that is everybody that was cut, guys. Again, taking down from 90 to 53 today. That is the goal for the Pittsburgh Steelers to see what they do between now and 4 o'clock. We're going to keep on top of everything, guys. Again, Mike, do you see Corey Trice? Does Corey Trice does he make the cut? I like Corey Trice. Again, the injury issues are always going to be the question with him. Yeah. I like the tall, lanky, rangy kind of corner that he is. Mike, Corey Trice is one of my big questions for you. Is he a Pittsburgh Steeler this evening or no?
I'm going to go with by the skin of his teeth. Yes.
Okay.
I think he makes it by the skin of his teeth.
Is there anybody, Mike, that we should be expecting to not be on this team this evening that we all think that's going to be here again? Mike, DeMarvin Leal. I'm sorry, but
he's gone.
He's gone. So again, this is a name. Mark Robinson, Mike, is a guy that you and I have been saying shouldn't have been making this team the past couple of years. But guys, it's been around now for a few years, Mike. They are leaving and not making this roster. Is there anybody that we should expect to see that might be a surprise as the day goes on?
Maybe Beanie Bishop.
There's a good one.
He might be the big one. He had what, like 4 picks last year, but like 2 of them were thrown right directly to the numbers, which, hey, you're in the right spot. You made the catch. But he had an up and down preseason, missed the last game. You're an undrafted guy. That you have to be an undrafted guy. You have to more or less earn your spot every year until you become like a Mike Hilton, James Harrison. Okay, you're making the team guy. I don't know if he makes it. I hope he does, because I think there's a role for him on the team. But I don't know. I don't see a clear path for him unless Corey Trice doesn't make the team. Then I think Beanie can make the team. But Beanie can only play inside, whereas Eccles can play inside and outside. So that might be how Beanie makes it, and Corey Trice doesn't.
Mike, also, I do want to say that we have 2 Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike, that did make the ESPN's top 100 player list. Of course, TJ Watt, Mike, he landed at number 11 overall on ESPN's top 100 player list, and Cam Hayward landed at 58 on this list. So congratulations to those guys. As always, Mike, also, what else? I got this is an interesting number. Steelers are 38-10 over the last 5 years when they do not throw an interception. The Steelers are 38-10 over the last 5 years when they do not throw an interception, and that was with Rudy, Mitch, Fields, Russ, Allen, Pickett, and the end of Ben's career. Aaron Rodgers has the lowest interception rate in NFL history. Mike, you got to like that. Providing he's moving into his mid-40s,
yeah,
you still have to like this.
You like that. He did throw a lot of interceptions last year comparatively to his career. Hopefully
he was a Jet. Come on.
Yeah, I know. You're hoping that, that's, like a guy goes to the Jets, guy goes to the Browns, he tends to suck. If smart ball control football, I mean, that works for everyone. And people want to say, Tomlin's gone conservative. There's a reason why. We had shitty quarterback play, go conservative, and you're going to win games. They're not going to be pretty. But, if Aaron Rodgers pick his spots, take the shots, and then play smart, ball control offense, I think that record, gets a little bit better.
Excuse me. Let's jump back on the board. Awesome stuff. 1983 says, I just don't see Myers coming available. I'd like him though. Terry asked for a trade. Mike asked for a trade. Asking for a trade doesn't make you available. I know. I was just throwing a name out there, just trying to think of who may even be a possibility, because of course, Amari Cooper going back to the Raiders. I think that plays a role in this as well. What they do, what Jacoby Myers decides to do, and what they decide to do with him. Of course, Amari Cooper going back to the Raiders on a 1-year deal. Scary Terry figuring it out with Washington. He's not going anywhere. So, I mean, you go down through the list of players that, we've been thinking about of being possibilities. The list is certainly getting smaller. So, again, it's really not a big argument or debate on the Jacoby Myers. It was just kind of the late scoop that he did request a trade. So that's why I threw it out there, really. No harm, no foul either way on him if he does or he doesn't come here. I want more weapons for our team, bottom line. But if it's not Jacoby Myers, I'm fine with that. Cody says another inside linebacker is always an option. Remember 2 years ago when we lost all of them, Quan Alexander, Cole Holcomb, and there was 2 more. We had to bring someone in off the couch. Hey,
that's when Landon Roberts became a household name in Pittsburgh.
Damn right he was. Yeah. You know what? I feel they're really thick right now at the linebacker position, inside and out. I just do. I just do. Even if they start having injury issues, it's going to take a while to get through what it is that we have. We have a pretty stacked linebacker room. Diane Callahan, she says, for the big guy, is he over the weight limit or just fearful of injury?
Yeah, for the guy down in Tampa, it was like they wanted him to hit a certain weight, and it was like the injury thing too, and like a health thing too. Big guy out in the heat down there too much. So it was a hand-in-hand thing for him. Okay.
He's a big guy. I see. I've never seen him play, to be honest. I've seen the pictures on social media, but he's a big one, man.
Yeah.
Clifford cut, Mike?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Sean Clifford cut from Green Bay.
Okay. And then Cody says Keanu Benton, he did get an interception last year. And then awesome stuff. I think he just missed. I think
yeah, Ramsey made the NFL 100 list.
Yes.
Did not make the ESPN 100 list, which is weird.
Correct. Right. I agree.
I like the NFL one better because it's voted on by the players, by your peers.
That, and I do know that he was just outside of the 100 on the ESPN list. So he was close, just didn't get it, Mike. See what else we got. We do know, I'm going to give this information we did earlier on the show. This is what we know about injuries, Mike. Derek Harmon expected to miss a month with his MCL. Mike, but Jerry Dulac is reporting that he may only miss 1 game. So just depending on how the injury goes, how the healing process goes for our first pick of the draft this year, Mike, Derek Harmon, he could miss 1 game or he can miss up to a month from now, which would be a couple games. Also, Keanu Benton, Mike, he is optimistic. Keanu Benton optimistic that he will be ready to be back on that defensive line for the opener. Again, the defensive line has to be a question at this point with Cam Hayward, with Keanu Benton, with so there's some things we're keeping our eye on there. The injuries don't help. Corey Trice says that he believes he's ahead of schedule, thinks he'll be ready for week 1, providing he is still a Steeler. Mike thinks that there's possibly a chance that he may not be a Steeler as the day goes on. I'm a Corey Trice guy. His injuries are killing him, though, killing his career. Unfortunately, I like him. I like Corey Trice. Calvin Austin. Calvin Austin is back practicing after missing some time with his oblique. That's a good sign, Mike. Again, we might have to be depending on some of these wide receivers if they don't bring in a two. Calvin Austin and Romeo Wilson may be very, very important, Mike, to this team. So they're keeping an eye on that. Injury goes a long way as well. Alex Highsmith, when he was asked with his his groin, was asked about his groin, he said he is absolutely playing in week 1, Mike. That is but from the mouth of the horse of Alex Highsmith. And finally, Jonnu Smith also returned from his nagging injury. So, guys, I think the injuries are something that we should certainly be monitoring and seeing how guys are looking, because we are, guys, 12 days away till we kick it off in New Jersey against the Jets at MetLife Stadium. Just 12 days away. Today being the cut down day, as the players cut down to 53 official roster spots in the NFL. Steelers are no different. Mike had went over the list of the people that were cut already, and we are keeping you updated as the show goes on by minute, real time. If anything happens, we are on top of it, and you'll be the first to know. Awesome stuff. All right. Yeah, no problem, man. And again, I think that's what it was. I think it was just the two separate lists. I think was what the confusion was. And Vegas says Benton needs to step up this year. He has been underwhelming with his one pass rush move. You know what, Mike? He's a big part of that defensive line. Mm-hmm. Say what you want. Keanu Benton is going to be a big part of the defensive line. And more question about it. I mean, obviously, you're going to be playing with rookies. You're going to be, when Derek Harmon gets back, you do have Keanu Benton with his injuries, and then Cam Hayward with his contract issue, Mike. So this may be one of the bigger questions. Is the defensive line going to be able to keep up with just everything else going on early on in the season, Mike, if there's these injuries and issues that keep happening?
Yeah, I'm hopeful like everyone is back healthy. I think we'd be okay without Harmon or Benton, but not both. Missing week 1. I want one or both out there. Because if we lose both, then you're getting down into the backup guys getting more and more of a role throughout the game. Where if you have one in there, that's fine. I think Wyatt Black has earned the right to start in Harmon's place. I put out Cam Hayward and Wyatt Black that first week if Harmon's not back. Then you rotate in Keanu Benton, and then whoever else is being left over there. But now if you just have Wyatt Black, Cam Hayward, and then a bunch of other guys, that's going to be an issue. So Harmon's got to come back. Benton's got to come back. They got to play.
And it helps, Mike, that we don't have Buffalo. We don't have, some of these other teams that we do have through the course of the season in the first 3 games. Don't get me wrong. I'm not underestimating the Jets, the Seahawks, or the Patriots, but we're kind of lucky to have these 3 teams.
Yeah.
Mike, obviously you don't know what you're getting with any of them at this point. It's still, we haven't played a game yet. But I'm glad we're not playing Buffalo. We're not playing the Detroit Lions, and we're not playing Baltimore as we have on the schedule for later down the road. So where we are with what's going on, it kind of comes together for us a little bit. I'm not worried. Again, we were asked on the board earlier if we were more excited or worried or nervous. I'm a little bit of it all. I'm ready for my guys to be back out there. I'm ready for my team to be back out there. But at the end of the day, they're going to give us heart attacks. There's not going to be any question about it. We'll still be having the heart attacks and everything else throughout the course of the season. Mike Benton needs to step up this year. Okay, we did get that one with Vegas on the board. So again, Mike, DeMarvin Leal, he was cut this morning, Mike, or is on his way to being cut for the Steelers. That is the top 3 picks from the 2022 draft that are no longer Pittsburgh Steelers guys. Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, DeMarvin Leal, all gone. The last. What was it, Mike? Was that the last Colbert draft?
That was the very last Kevin Colbert draft.
In the Steelers, they have 2 players from that particular draft: Calvin Austin III and, dare I say, Connor Hayward. Guys, if it was Connor Johnson, this guy would not be on the team still, would he?
I think he would. I think he would be a fan favorite if he was not Cam Hayward's little brother.
Really?
I would like him if he wasn't Cam Hayward's little brother. He's Cam Hayward's little brother, so I don't like him.
Let's see. Awesome stuff says Detroit could be down a bit after losing. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that team is going to be as good as they were last year, and I think that they certainly shit the bed when it counted last year. They didn't get out of the first game. They played one. They were one and done in the playoffs, which was, I think, super bummer up there. and you just wonder if that's going to take them down a peg a little bit. And as Awesome Stuff 83 is saying, they did lose some pieces. So, but still, I think that's going to be a big game for us. Buffalo, Detroit, of course, both Baltimores. Green Bay was good last year, and even Minnesota. It's a quarterback change, but still, those receivers are still there. A lot of pieces are still in place in Minnesota. So those are the games that that you think are going to be tough. I'm happy with the way it's set up. Again, these first few games, there's none of those teams. We're going to get a bit of a litmus test of where we stand against the Jets, against Seattle, against New England, then against Minnesota, Mike, overseas, before we even get any of these teams. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I like the Jets' offensive line. I think they got some good players on there. I like their running back, Braylon Edwards, the big bruiser out of Wisconsin. I think that's going to be a good test too, because they also have Breece Hall. How is that front going to look against a decent rushing attack? I think, like you said, that's going to be a good litmus test for our revamped defensive front of how well are they going to be able to handle the run. I like their passing game doesn't scare me. Like Garrett Wilson, I think it's a good receiver, but Justin Fields he's hit or miss in the passing attack. So I don't think we're going to get a good look there.
Mike, does he beat us with his legs?
Yes. I think he can. I think he can. If we don't prepare for him the way we prepare for Lamar, he can, because we were able always when we play Lamar for some reason to contain his legs. Yeah. But when we go and play Josh Allen, who was like the similar style quarterback, we can't contain him when he runs. So that kind of has me thinking we might not be able to do it with Justin Fields. It only seems like Lamar is the only running quarterback we can know how to contain.
Guys, let me touch on a couple other things. We're going to start getting ready to wrap the show. We got about 15 minutes left in the show, and then we are going to hit the trivia question of the day, Mike. It's a good one, so do stick around, guys. We have a really good trivia question of the day. I do want to say this, guys. College football, Mike. Pitt and Penn State both back in action this week for their first game of the season. The Pitt Panthers, they will be hosting the Duquesne Dukes, Mike. A city game right here at Acrisure Stadium. That game is on Saturday at 12 o'clock. And then your Penn State Nittany Lions coming in the season at number 2 overall. They are hosting Nevada. That's a 3:30 start on Saturday, Mike. It's going to be fun to see these guys, these teams, and again, a lot of other possibilities of who may be Steelers in the future, again, with the draft coming here in April.
Yeah, I can't wait for the draft. Yeah, I can't wait for college football. I can't wait for NFL football.
Here in Western PA, high school football is also big, Mike. They just had week 0. They're heading into week 1 in high school football in the Whippeal. And interesting, Mike, a receiver that we did name early on and people that we were interested in, Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd did build a new stadium for his old high school. Mike, Clareton, the Clareton Bears opened up, and Tyler Boyd was there to open up the new stadium, Tyler Boyd Stadium, last Friday as they lose to Amani Christian, but nonetheless, really cool on part of Tyler Boyd.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw that. Well done.
Really nice place too. Artificial grass, the whole thing. It's beautiful, Mike. So the other football team here in Pittsburgh, the soccer team, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they tied the Birmingham Legion 1-1 on Saturday, Mike. Their next game is at the Tampa Bay Rowdies. That's a Saturday game at 7:30. Finally, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Mike, they have the most shutouts pitched in the league. Nobody. The Detroit Lions second. The Pittsburgh Pirates have 16 shutouts thrown. The Lions, too. Get this. The Pirates' away record, 18-48. They have 18 wins on the road and 16 shutouts thrown. I don't even know how you describe this to anybody. No one would believe it if you couldn't look it up and see it for yourself. Mike, Pirates, game 2 today against the Cardinals, 57-75 coming in the Pirates. Game 2 of 4, 7:45. Mitch Keller is going to be on the bump, Mike. Pirates doing Pirate things. And finally, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website so we can get to this question of the day.
The TwoDumbYinzers.com. The TwoDumbYinzers.com. Check it out, everyone, especially if you're new here. I see a lot of new faces here, so please check it out. All of Ryan and I's social media, a bunch of you here on YouTube as well. Link. We got a little merchandise store over there. Check that out. We got The Dumb Thoughts by Vanilla Thunder himself. I have over there my prediction for the 53-man roster, and I only have one wrong so far. I had Cam Johnson, not Carlos Waitman, making the team. So check it out at the TwoDumbYinzers.com.
Again, Corliss Waitman winning the job. Cam Johnston not making the cut. Corliss Waitman, I think, Mike, because of his hang time in preseason being one of the best, I think the best, as far as hang time in the preseason. Cam Johnston, right around 30-31 overall. I think that was the deciding point as they both kicked flawlessly through preseason, Mike. But again, Corliss Waitman getting the job as Cam Johnston is on the chopping block. He's getting cut, Mike, and I'm sure he'll have no problem finding a job in the NFL.
Quickly.
Guys, let's hop to the question of the day. Here we go. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. Here we go for the question of the day. Here we go. Which position is most represented in the Hall of Fame by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Which position is most represented in the Hall of Fame by the Pittsburgh Steelers? I'm looking for a football position, of course. For example, the quarterback. Mike, board, everybody at home. Which position is most represented in the NFL Hall of Fame by Steelers? Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day right here on YouTube. All right, guys. So question of the day. Which position is most represented in the NFL Hall of Fame by Pittsburgh Steelers? Mike, what's your thought process?
It's not quarterbacks. We only have one. Not running backs. We only have one. Wide receivers, we only have two. Offensive lineman, Demarni Dawson, Mike Webster. Oh, Big Red, Faneca. Linebackers, Ham, Lambert. Ooh. Ooh. Damn, this is a tough one.
Just want to say on the board, there are some different.
There
options.
are some like Spice Creations D line. I'm leaning towards D line.
I got cornerback up here. We got linebackers by a couple different people. Defensive line. So there are, Mike. Yes, Spice Creations does have the defensive line. Which way are you leaning?
Vegas is a good question. Are we separating cornerbacks and safeties, or just DBs?
Yes, you're separating every position.
Oh, okay.
Running backs, cornerbacks, quarterbacks, centers, tackles, defensive tackles, guards, safeties, linebackers, wide receivers, the whole way down. Mike, what position? I need a final answer.
Give me Damn.
Give
me linebackers.
I'm not cutting your toes off if you don't get it.
I know, but this is like I should know this.
Well, I don't know. It's all right. Let's get to the answer, guys. Austin says, welcome to the show.
What
Great
up?
seeing you on the board as well. He's saying linebacker. Cody says cornerback. Aaron said linebacker. Tortilla linebacker. Spice, always great seeing you on the board as well.
Yes.
Spice says defensive line. Guys, question of the day: which position is most represented in the Hall of Fame by the Pittsburgh Steelers? Mike, this position has 5 players.
Wow.
5 players. And these 5 players are, ready?
Yep.
John McNally, John Henry Johnson, Bill Dudley, Franco Harris, and Jerome Bettis.
Wow.
The running back room is most represented by Pittsburgh Steelers in the Hall of Fame. Bus, Franco, Bill Dudley, John Henry Johnson, John McNally, Mike. 5 players at running back.
Wow.
Mostly represents the Steelers.
Wow. Well, I'm mad at myself. I forgot Bussy. How can the fuck can I forget Buss?
Linebackers comes in second. In these positions, I'll have 2, Mike, cornerback, quarterback, center, guard, safety, defensive tackle, and receiver. So there you go. Running back leads the way.
Wow.
Who would have thought?
Some old ass names in there.
Yes.
No disrespect to those guys who.
That's why I didn't think
Franco.
that you were going to get it, because of all the older names. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't think that you were going to get it.
Wow.
So there you go. Running back is the answer.
That's whack. That's some bullshit. These guys probably played like 2 seasons in Pittsburgh.
Well, they're Hall of Famers. I mean,
Yeah.
John Henry Johnson. Come on.
Yeah. He played in Pittsburgh. I think his whole career.
He was a beast, man. So a lot of wows. Who knew?
No William Shakespeare though.
No William Shakespeare, or no Dick Shiner. I think that's a Hall of Fame name right there. Come on, in my opinion, Dick Shiner belongs somewhere.
He's in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. We had a whole episode on him.
Not him. You're talking about Dick Groat.
Oh, Dick Groat. No, I thought
Dick Shiner was a backup quarterback. You nugget.
Whatever.
But there are Vegas, yes, there are some front office ownerships and coaches as well, but the running back is the leader with 5 running backs. Kind of crazy. Austin Dick Shiner. Vegas says some of them played before TV existed. That it's true.
Yep.
It's true. Again, Bill Dudley, John Henry Johnson, John McNally, Franco Harris, and Bussy, baby. Dick Trickle. That day, Vegas. There's another one. Dick Trickle in NASCAR. Had to hate it.
We go down this rabbit hole every time we mention someone with the name Dick.
That's right. Let me go back. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody here on the board before we did get into the question. Vegas says Bill Burr. Bill Burr will not won't be free too long. I agree. He's going to be picked up very quickly, especially because they have a situation in New Orleans. I think it is. New Orleans are going to be looking for a punter, and he's a good punter, so I don't think he'll be out there too long. Mike, also Vegas says Penn State versus Nevada, the best rivalry in all of college. That's how they always. That's how they always schedule. That's how they always. You know,
Penn State and Nevada, Penn State and Villanova go way back, baby.
Yeah, they got Villanova coming in. Who the other one? Another team in the first 3 is pretty weak too. I can't think of who it was, but anyway, besides that, guys, Penn State back at it, coming in number 2, and I'm sure they're not going to lose that number 2 going up against Vegas.
No, don't worry. We'll find a way to make it tight.
Also, let me grab this one here. Vegas says Pirates lead the MLB with 16 shutouts, but only have 57 wins. Again, 18 wins on the road, 16 shutouts thrown. That's Pirates. That's as schizophrenic as it gets in baseball. That's our Pirates, guys. Also, yes, Spice, they did. They had leather helmets. RB says, does Vrabel and Nickerson count at linebacker? I don't think so. I don't think they went in as Steelers. I don't even know. Are they Hall of Famers? I'm not quite sure. I know I liked Hardy Nickerson a lot when I was a kid. I just don't know. And then Vegas says we in Vegas call him Reno, and they hate that. Mike, we are getting ready to wrap things up. One thing I did want to talk about today before we got off the show was what the hell happened with Raja Jackson, Rampage Jackson's son, over the weekend. What was this? Where he just beat the crap out of this wrestler?
Yeah, they had the thing going on, and he fucking waylaid on him, like put him in the hospital and shit. And I thought like something happened with Rampage Jackson's kid like the day before, like his sparring partner, jumped him in their sparring bout, took it too far. So then he turns around and puts this guy like in a coma or some shit in a wrestling bit.
Well, the thing about it is this guy's not even a fighter; he's a wrestler. They're choreographed to make moves for a written, a scripted finish. So again, Raja Jackson jumps in. The slam was pretty brutal, and then he jumped on him and punched him 23 times in the face, knocking him out early. And he just continued to punch. I don't know if I understand what the hell happened. What was his problem? Did he just freak out?
I don't know. I don't know if he just snapped. I don't know if they had beef between those two guys. Like I said, I thought I heard something earlier in the week where Raja Jackson had something going on, like where his sparring partner beat him up, and this is what he took out that on this guy. I don't know what's all been going on. I just seen bits and pieces of it, and it's just wild. And you had like one of the wrestlers at that thing saying, "Oh, dude, you did fine. You didn't do anything wrong." I'm like, what the hell?
He could have killed that guy. Again,
okay, that's right, RB. Yeah, the guy slammed a beer off his head pre-show. But yeah, like you don't go that far with it. In wrestling, you get your receipt, you get your one little punch in on the guy, let him know, hey, well, let's not do that shit.
Again, it's wrestling. Go back to it,
but you don't do that.
Like this, it's not even a contact sport. This is a choreographed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Again, I just thought it was crazy. I felt that it was worthy bringing up. No two ways about that. I think I understand. And then Rampage Jackson, when he was asked about it, he's talking about he wants to go kick everyone's ass now in the wrestling. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'll keep on top of that. It's certainly not at the top of my interest, but I seen it and it made me wonder what in the hell is going on. Let me grab a couple more of these messages here, Mike. Vegas said he should be in jail. From what I've seen, he should be in jail. Again, the other guy wasn't fighting him. He was doing his choreographed wrestling. It's wrestling. It's pro wrestling.
Did you see like after he knocked that guy the fuck out, some dude pinned the guy and the ref counted 1, 2, 3?
You got to finish the match.
Okay, Vince McMahon. The show must go on.
Well, people are there. You got to finish. What are you going to do? You can't just get everybody walk up and walk away.
And keep the show going.
Scott Atkins, I do want to say good welcome on the board. Scott says the Steelers need another wide receiver to win in a shootout when your defense fails. Plus, you need insurance for injuries like possible DK. That's always been my argument,
what
Scott.
he's been saying all the time, Scott.
You lose DK for the season. Let's say he blows an ACL in week 1. Boy, then we're sure thinking about, man, we should have made a wide receiver 2 move. Playoff games are still won by having more points than opponents. Vegas says he thought Raja was part of the show since he had a cameraman with him at first. I don't even know what to make. I don't even know what to make of that. Tortilla says the stream was hyping him up, and he got more and more mad. No reason at all to go that far. Vegas says he's going to have to defend his own ass in jail. And again, I'm not, it looked nuts, man. And then finally, Austin says, why'd he crack Raja over the head with the can, though, before all that happened? LOL, like he didn't even know who he was. Okay, I didn't know that. And again, I'm not even a huge fan of this. I just seen this, and it caught my attention. Yeah. So I guess we'll learn more. It is weird, a very weird situation, Austin. I couldn't agree more. Mike, anything before we do start getting ready to wrap things up for today?
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the
alert.
Yeah, what do we got?
Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged.
Oh, for the of course they did.
Everything on my timeline is, oh, that's awesome. Oh, why the fuck did the GM cut this guy?
Oh, I thought this was going to be over soon. I really did. Now, come on, the doorstep of the NFL season. Now we're going to have to hear about this bullshit. Vegas says someone's going to have to give him soap on a rope, anklet as a gift. This Taylor Swift, who cares already? All right. But anyway, guys, I do want to say thank you for coming and hanging out today, everybody. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do this without you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody on the board, you guys always keep things interesting here on the show. Always. We appreciate you. We really do. Everybody at home, whether you're in the car, whether you're at the gym with your earbuds in, or just watching on your big screen TV at home, thank you too. Guys, it is a big day. This is cut down day. We are 2 hours and 28 minutes away from the deadline. That's the 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time deadline for the NFL teams to get to 53 men. We've already lost some big names today. Cam Johnston, the punter, he did lose the battle to Corliss Waitman. Mike, also, DeMarvin Leal was a name that maybe some people didn't expect to be cut today. But again, we're going from 90 to 53, so they're going to keep coming, guys. But we will still keep collecting everything that we possibly can, and make sure tomorrow we will have all the possible information that you could possibly have on this cut down. Mike, again, 4:00 today. The Steelers are off. We have 12 days till opening kickoff in New Jersey against the Jets, guys. It's getting here, but this day, very busy. Keep up on it, because there's not the scoop is going to continue to come. And again, who knows? Maybe the Steelers are going to bring somebody in instead of letting people go. Guys are getting cut. They'll be available, and maybe somebody might catch the eye of Omar Khan and Andy Weidel to make the football team just that much more better for this 2025 campaign, Mike. It's Pittsburgh Steelers. So again, today, guys, 4:00 is the big time. That is the deadline. Also, Mike, I do want to say, if you haven't had a chance, go check out our social media pages. We are all over social media: Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Go check us out if you want to follow the Two Dumb Yinzers on an everyday basis. Hit the follow button, hit a like button. And then one other thing, guys, if you haven't had a chance, also right here on YouTube, hit the like, hit the sub, and hit the subscribe button down below. That helps us out a lot. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get back into it, guys. Do it all over again. We hope to see you then. Mike, one more time. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Oh, great show, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of new people here. Please, like Ryan said, hit that like, follow. Come on back. We do this all the time. We love talking about Steelers. Love talking to you about the Steelers. And the biggest news of the day, Ryan, Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift.
Oh, love us. But Friday, guys, we'll be hitting the big 800th episode, making the move into our 8th season, guys. So we hope you'll hang out all week. A lot of things going on as we prepare for this 2025 football season for our Pittsburgh Steelers. So, guys, again, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. A lot of cuts, a lot of moves, a lot of things happening, guys. But we'll be back tomorrow to cover it all and talk about it right here on the show. So for Mike and the Steelers Central Mobile Studio, myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great cut day, and we'll see you tomorrow.